Your inner circle should be very healthy for you. If I do something, Beverly will see and tell me that this and that.
The key point is that a godly friend helps you become who God has called you to be.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, L to the I to the Z. Stay tuned, it's showtime. Welcome back to the channel, and if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe to join the family. As you can see, I'm not here alone. I'm here with my girl, and I wanted to introduce herself. I think some of you already know her, some of you have already seen her on my channel before, but today she's here with me on the podcast. So yes, please introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Beverly.
Okay.
Do you want to say anything else?
think for now that's okay guys, so I'm sure you saw the title of today's video. We are doing nurturing godly friendships. So this is the first part, and hopefully if you are able to finish with this part, we'll continue with the rest of the topic, right? So let's get right into the conversation. So I think the first statements that we want to discuss, we've noted down some points over here. So we have the kind of friends you have influences the quality of your life. Maybe do you have something to say about that?
Yes, I think I 100% agree with this statement. When you look around and you see certain groups of people and you see the kind of friends they have, you realize that they all have some common kind of lifestyle they might be living. Of course, not like they are doing almost everything together, but there is just one trait you might find among all of them. I believe that the kind of friends you have will influence how you live, and then will also influence how you
either in a good or bad way.
Yes, in a good or bad way. Yes, so and I would say that we are looking at what godly friendships. So it's good to have friends who are very, very much inclined to what God wants, and very much inclined to having a personal relationship with God, because that is very important. Friends who know God. They are not just church goers.
Who are serious about going in their relationship with God.
Exactly.
They are not just sitting there.
Yes.
Yeah. I think there's something that comes with friendships and relationships, that's influence. So you cannot say that someone is in your friend group and you feel like the person won't have influence on you, especially when it comes to inner circles. I think that's one of the main things that we want to talk about today. I think there are levels of friendships, and I was saying earlier that we have acquaintances. Those are people in our classrooms. Like we are not
basically just know them by name.
Hello, hi,
but you don't tell them about issues that happen in your life. You don't go about talking to them about issues.
And you also have those friends that it's not like you share everything, but when you meet, you have some things in common, you actually talk about those things. But then the inner circle is like, these are people that you give a lot of updates to, frequent updates on your life. Telling this is happening in my life, in my family, all those things. And I think that you have to be really selective about the people that are in your inner circle. And I was saying that when it comes to Jesus, even with the disciples, even though there were 12 disciples, there were 3 of them that when he's going to particular places and doing certain situations, he was with those 3 people. So sometimes even amongst your friends, you have those close friends, and that's the inner circle we are talking about. So these people, how you select, you cannot just pick.
The Bible in 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verse 33 will tell you that do not be fooled. Bad company ruins good character. So even if you, maybe let's say from the onset, you're a good person, and you are not able to select people that also have the same should I say character as you, or the same morals, or they don't have the same vision, then you have that kind of company, you have that kind of company around you. You begin to realize that most of how your thinking pattern and how you might have approached things will change, because they are now seen as like your very, very, like she said, like your inner circle, your close friends. So when they say something, you really take it as a very serious advice, and you go by it. So it's very crucial when you are selecting or when you want to have that inner circle.
Because naturally, when you are making decisions, you don't want to seek other people's opinions, and most of the times it's the people in our inner circles that you would ask them, what do you think about this? Should I choose this? Should I do this? Yeah. So if you end up having people who are not really serious, especially now that we are talking about nurturing godly relationships, you don't have people who are serious with their relationship with God, you don't have godly people in your inner circle, it's very dangerous, because you might take decisions that will affect your destiny in general. So you should pick people that are also serious about their relationship with God, not just churchgoers like she mentioned earlier. Because sometimes I think we mentioned that you should get people who are spiritually mature. Because sometimes someone who is now starting the journey, even though we all started as baby Christians, right? But if you have just people at that particular level in your friend group, that one there it's also a bit dangerous. So you should get people that are also spiritually mature. They spend time studying the word. They've been able to build discernment to a particular point. So those people are able to apply those skills to teach you certain things. I think you gave an example.
Yes. Back in the days when I was in school, I had two friends, and anytime I needed advice concerning an issue, I would bring it to them. I would talk to them, and one person was always someone who was always going the spiritual side. Like, she would always look at the situation from the godly side, the spiritual side, and the other person was also looking at it at like the very the logical side of the issue. She's trying to she's not looking at whether it is right or it is not right in God's perspective. Yes, thank you very much. Like, it's not right, so she's just looking at it that no, it's like this, like that. Not saying that she's not a good person. That's actually a good friend, because it's good to have people who can tell you different perspectives concerning an issue. But as we grow, the main thing is to always look at issues at the God point, the God perspective. Yes, you can always fuse in the logical part, but is this how, I think someone would always ask me that whatever you are going through, when you sit down and you look at the issue, is this how Jesus will solve it? If Jesus was in your shoes, will he do this? If God was in your shoes, do you think that God will do what you're doing? If your answer is no, then you know that's okay. But if your answer is yes, then fine. So let's be very serious. Let's be very, very intentional, because these inner circles, they are going to be with you for like a lifetime and a very long time. Proverbs chapter 11 verse 14 says that for lack of guidance a nation falls, but victory is won through many advices. So it's not every decision that when you decide it is the right way to go. It's good to also hear from people and godly friends.
Emphasis on the godly, because it's not every good friend that necessarily gives godly advice. Because I think society has what they term as good. The good versus God thing, I have a video. I'm going to post the link for you guys to go and check it out. Because good does not necessarily mean that it is of God or it is from God. So you should really be checking such things. Okay, let me use the example that I gave. So I think an example is maybe, girls. The person has seen someone who's nice and everything, and she's asking a good friend for her advice. And the good friend sees the guy and is like, oh, this guy is good looking, he's kind, he's brilliant, I think you should go in for him. But a godly friend will not give that advice, even though it may sound good, because the person has these so-called good values. But then when we come to God's perspective, that is not the blueprint when it comes to choosing a spouse. You don't just look at the surface. You must allow the Holy Spirit to really lead you to choose who you are going to be with, because on your own, you are just going to see things from your own perspective. But when the Spirit comes in, that's when you're able to see beyond the surface level, beyond the fact that the person is kind, the person is this, the person is that. Maybe there are certain things that you are not going to see. So when you have a godly friend, that's when you bring in, oh Charlie, let's fast, let's do this, let's hear from God. But when it's just a good advice or it's just a good friend who's giving something that is good, you won't involve certain things. That is why it's very necessary that in your inner circle, you may have good friends in your inner circle, but it's necessary that you have at least, even if you have that one friend who is godly, make sure that you are not the only person who is godly, because sometimes when it's just you, the pressure can cause you to, I think it goes to a point that I found myself in a space where I thought I was actually doing well spiritually. I did not see any need to really push because of the environment I found myself in and the people I found myself with. I did not really feel any pressure to really do extra. But then when I got introduced to a particular group of people, that's when I saw that, Charlie, it's like I'm slacking. I'm being complacent and I thought that I was okay. There's so much more. So it's like when you get introduced to, when you have certain people who are more spiritually inclined and everything, there's also that pressure and that influence to also do better for yourself spiritually. If not, you're just going to be, at a particular level and you are just okay with that. So I think you should always have that one friend or those people in your group that you can see that they are pushing. You can see that, Charlie, they are going. Then it will also inspire you to go. But if you have friends that is that you are the one who's doing well amongst them, Charlie, that one day.
See, the key point is that a godly friend helps you become who God wants you to be, or who God has called you to be.
Become a better version of yourself.
To be a better version of yourself. They push you so that you're able to serve the purpose with which God has called you to do on this earth. That's the essence of having godly friends or having godly companions. So yes. So
I think when you were talking, what came to mind is that when you have a godly friend, a good friend may think about your feelings and say that, if the person has seen something bad about you, the person may feel like, because he or she will step on your toes, the person will not tell you. But a godly friend who is serious with their work with God and knows that even if we are going to fight because of this, the person will tell you the truth. If I do something, Beverly will see and tell me that this and this and that. If me too, I see something and it's not good, and I know that maybe she might be a little annoyed or something, I'll still say it, even though maybe it might cause some friction at the beginning. As long as God is at the center, and as long as you're supposed to be in such a friendship, you continue. But then a good friend will just consider your feelings and be like, I just wanted to feel good. It's not about making the person feel good. I think that we can move on to the tips that will help to nurture godly friendships. Okay. So the first thing that we have here is the inner circle. It shouldn't be something too large. You have a number of people that you actually pay attention or pay heed to the kind of advice they give, people that you can call on to. And when it comes to godly friendships, I think you should have people that, or you should know people that when you call them at any point in time that, join me in prayer and let's do this and all that. You should have those kind of people. So right now, ask yourself if you have people in your life that you can call on when you need prayers. Do you have people like that? Do you have people that when you are going through certain issues, when your spiritual growth is declining and all that, do you have people that you can call on? You should have these people that are willing to stand with you in prayer and then everything. Yes. Do you have something to say?
And as you are calling upon them, also be available. You say you have friends. You have friends in your inner circle. Like Liz said, it's not a group of 10 people, 20 people. It could just be one person. It shouldn't be a whole congregation. It shouldn't be a group of 20 people. It could just be one. And as you call on them, also be available when they call on you. That's what friends.
It shouldn't be just you are always taking, but you are never there to give or be available for the person.
Yes, that's what friends are.
So it shouldn't be a huge just a few people, and those few people you make sure that you are in touch with them. You're actually also calling them, all those kind of things. Not when you just need you need things. That's when
See, it's not when you need things that you be calling. And please, sometimes when they don't pick your call, that doesn't mean that the friendship has ended. Life is life in everybody at this point in this whole world that we live in. People are going through a lot. So if at a point in time you've called or you want to reach out and you are not getting the response you're getting, please do not just conclude or assume that the person does not have time for
or you were there for the person but the person wasn't there.
Exactly, the person does not have time. They are your friends, so they give you advice. That doesn't mean that when they're not there you can't you cannot speak.
Yeah, I think that's why the main thing is you make sure that you are depending on God. Though these people are there like support systems and all that, but your main source is God. So when you're going through something and you cannot hear from anyone, that's the time you should even draw closer to God. And I feel like sometimes God is intentional about making sure you are isolated so that He can work on you. Because sometimes we are too dependent on our friends. Everything then you just pick up and you're calling your friend, but you've not really even prayed about it. You've not even spoken to God about it, and you are just. And I think in such cases, there are times where people end up idolizing their friends' opinions over God's opinion. Point. You don't hear God for yourself concerning it.
Exactly.
So it's very necessary that you are also going. So that you can hear God for yourself. It's not like you know that this your friend is spiritual, so when you call the person go and hear God for you. No, please.
Wouldn't it be a very beautiful thing when you hear God for yourself, and later on your friend or your inner circle even calls you to tell you that let's say I'm confirming something, or let us pray about this thing, or I think I had a vision concerning this thing, and God has already told you. Is it not going to be a nice thing?
I think something like that has happened with you too. You got your own confirmation, but then I also got something.
Yes, I got my own confirmation, and she called, and she also got the same confirmation, and it was very nice. It was very beautiful. I didn't have to. When I needed answers, I didn't just have to pick my phone and then I'll just call her straight. The problem. The solution. Give me the solution. No. It's good to hear God for yourself. God can tell you everything that He wants to tell you concerning yourself. You just have to be in a position to hear from God.
Just give yourself to the things of God. Make sure that you're abiding in the word, you are fellowshipping with the Holy Spirit. Then you go and then you stop depending on people. Let's not depend on people more than we depend on God. Let's remember that God is not to say that you should also draw away from people, because sometimes God uses people to help us. So let any toxic person out of that circle. It can affect your mental health and ability to grow. So I think that I was telling Bebdi about my experience. I had a friend like that I thought the person was in my inner circle. But then it wasn't healthy for me at all, because every time I was just down because of the kind of comments the person was giving. And it would even go on to affect my self-esteem and everything. Is this what a friend is supposed to do? So, and I think I got introduced to people that, let me say, the environment changed. And then now I saw that I was growing. Do you get it? So I feel like your environment is very important. I didn't necessarily have to cut the person off. But then the person just moved out of my inner circle. That's why I'm very serious about inner circles, because your inner circle is literally the person. Of course, you're still calling the person your friend, but the person is not in your inner space to come and influence your mood, your emotions. And, oh God, like it was intense for me. So I think that when you have those kind of people that there's too much drama, and not to say you shouldn't be helping people, but then your inner circle should be very healthy for you, a safe space for you, somewhere that you can just speak to the person without holding back or resisting certain things. And I think that thing really happens with people who are naturally people pleasers. If you have that trait, you should really ask God to help you work on that, because that's one thing that can really cause you to be in a friendship that you know is not helping you. You go on to do compromise and all that. And where would you find like godly friends? Who you are plays a main role in you identifying such people, and then the kind of places that you go to. Not to say that you necessarily find these people in church all the time, but then I think that sometimes it's dependent on you where exactly you are headed to. If you are someone who is serious about growing in your walk with God, God will lead you to people that will help you to become a better version of yourself. But if you're okay where you are and then you are not putting in any effort and everything, you meet people who are just like you. Once you are serious. So I think when it comes to how I met Beverly, it was really something natural. It wasn't something that I even expected.
Can I be your friend?
Like I didn't even see that we would get this close. Yeah, I saw that we were people that on our own, we were heading somewhere. When God sees that, oh, these two people, they share the same goals, they find themselves in the same place and everything, they will help each other, be supportive to each other, then He will just allow you to meet people that will help you. I also think that once you yourself, you are growing in your relationship with God, then you're able to go in discernment. You'll be able to see the people that are actually like godly people that you can share something with. Because beyond people posting certain things on their status and their platforms, That's not what we used to check. Because people, what they post sometimes can be opposites to who they actually are. They can post all the verses beyond what the people post. When you're someone who spends time with God, you would go to know how to identify in the same character and see that this person is not who they claim they are and all that.